my name is Dena and I'm back today with another video for PotomacBeads. In today's video, we're going to make a pair of earrings using RounDuo Minis. So hit the button down below to get your list of supplies, gather them up, meet me back, and we will get started. Alright, so let's get started. In our first step, we're going to use our RounDuo Minis. So we would want to pick up 4 RounDuo Minis. And I've got about a little less than an arm span length of thread. Bring those down close to the end of the thread. Leave enough to where all you have to do is just hold it. We're going to make a knot now. So we're going to do right over left, left over right, and pull it down tight to make yourself a circle. So now you have a right angle weave looking RounDuo Mini group. So go ahead and pass through your next one to kind of get that knot hidden a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to add onto our units. We're going to add an extra 3 beads here. Then we're going to add another 3 beads, and then we're going to round it out and make it look like a cube. So my needle is currently coming out of the middle hole of that RounDuo Mini. I'm going to try to make this a little bit more in focus. It doesn't seem to be in focus. Okay, that's a little bit better. So we're still going through the inner hole of that RounDuo Mini. We want to jump out to the outer hole of the RounDuo Mini. And this is where we will add our next 3 minis. So put 3 more on your needle. Our thread is coming out of the bottom part of that RounDuo Mini. Now we're going to go through that same outer hole, if I can find it with my needle, and go in the same direction. So now you have 2 units on. So we need to move to that outer unit. So going through the same holes again, not the outer holes yet, the inner holes. Go through the bottom one, go through the right hand side, and then pull tight. There you go. So we got another one to add, so 3 more. Oops. Wait, no, not 3 more yet. Sorry. Okay, we're on the inner hole. We have to jump to the outer hole before we add our 3 more. So jump to that outer hole again. Now you add your 3 more. So 3 more minis coming down from the bottom again. We're going to go round it out, go through the top. Pull tight. Now you have your 3rd unit on. And we've got 1 more unit to add, but we will be making this into a circle. Or a cube. This is not a circle, this is a cube. Wow. Alrighty, so I'm back to the inner hole of the rightmost bead again. We need to get to that outer hole one more time. So jump over to the outer hole. Now on this one, we're going to pick up 1 RounDuo Mini. The thread is coming out of this right hand side, the outer hole of the right hand side down on the bottom. So we want to jump to the leftmost bead from the bottom of the hole going towards the top. I'm going to try to get my tail thread out of the way so you can kind of see the thread path a little bit better. There we go. So this is the bead that I just added right here. Now to complete this cube, put another RounDuo Mini on your needle. Our working thread is coming out the top of the left-handmost bead, so we want to go to the rightmost bead and go from the top to the bottom again. And then this is what it looks like as far as thread path is concerned. So now when you pull that tight, you now have something that resembles a cube. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to connect to both the top and the bottom portions. So go through one more RounDuo Mini on the inner hole. We need to jump to the outer hole of that same RounDuo Mini. And this is either your top or your bottom, it really doesn't matter which one. Now you need to connect these 4 beads. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just go through the outer hole of each one of these 4 beads. And then the last one, whoops. The outer hole of the last bead. So now you are connected on the top. So now I'm going to flip it to where the bottom side that was not connected yet is showing on the top. So now we have to weave ourselves back up to this side. So go back through the same RounDuo bead that you're going through right now, the mini. Just jump down to the innermost hole. Go through that. You want to jump or go through the next mini on the innermost hole again, and then a third mini on the innermost hole. So now you're currently coming out of the RounDuo minis that have not been connected yet, but we're on the innermost hole still. So we need to move to the outermost hole. So that puts us to where we connect these beads now. So go through your 4 beads, the outermost hole of those. And this seems somewhat loose, which is fine. On our next step, we'll be adding extra beads to kind of help with that. Okay, so that's what it should look like. So now you have all 6 sides of your cube connected. So go ahead and get that done. Meet me back and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so in this step, we will be adding extra beads to help kind of strengthen our cube up a little bit. So our thread is coming out of one of the RounDuo minis. Just make sure it's the outermost hole that you're coming out, or yeah, the outermost hole. I'll get it right eventually. So in this step, we're going to pick up one of our 11-ohs. I'm using the cream color in this part. And just go through the next RounDuo mini that's in line with whatever hole that you're coming out of. Pick up another one, go through the next hole of the next RounDuo mini, a third and a fourth, do the same thing to complete this part of the cube, and adding your 11-ohs. So now you have 4 11-ohs in between each of your 4 RounDuo minis. So now we need to move to where we can do another side of the cube. So we're currently coming out of this side, the right hand side of this RounDuo mini. So we're going to jump to the inner hole of this one so we can add beads on this side. So pick up an 11-oh, go through the next mini that's in line, pick up an 11-oh, go through the next one, and then number 3 and number 4. Okay, now you've got 2 sides that are connected with the RounDuo minis. So there you go. So now just jump into the next hole of your the RounDuo mini that you're in right now, and you're set up to add your 11-ohs on this side. So continue to do that on all 6 sides of your cube, and meet me back and I will show you the next step. Okay, so now that you have all your 11-ohs on each side, all 6 sides of your cube, your cube should look something similar to this. Trying to roll it around. Okay, so in our next step, we're going to add some more seed beads. I'm just getting my stop thread out of the way because I just happen to end up at about the same spot. You may end up in a different spot, which is fine. Just make sure all 6 sides have a bead in between each of your RounDuo Minis. So my thread is still coming out of one of the holes of the RounDuo Mini. What I want to do is go through that 11-0 that's right next to it. Now this hopefully will make sense. I have the cube on an angle, so when you look at a cube, what we're going to end up doing is adding seed beads to the corners of the cube, and it makes it look like it's a growing cube. That's where I got the idea from. Makes it look like it's kind of like a growing crystal. So these are the 3 beads that you'll be using. So my thread's coming out of this one right now. We're going to add beads and then go into this 11-0, add beads, go into this 11-0, and then add more beads and go back through the original one again. So pick up 3 of your second color of 11-0. Again, I'm coming out of this bead, so I'm going to go through this one. Pick up 3 more. You're coming out of that second one. Go through your third one. And 3 more of that one 11-0. You're coming out of that second one. So we're going to go back through the first one. And then we're going to step up and go through the first 2 11-0s that we just added. And when you pull tight, you may have to kind of play with the beads just a little bit to make it look like there's little peaks there. That's something similar to what you should be seeing. So now we're going to connect all 3 of those middle 3 beads together with another bead. So pick up your third color of your 11-0. We're coming out of the middle of the first 3. We're going to go through the middle of the second 3. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the middle of the third 3. Pick up your last 11-0 and go back through the middle of the first one. So now it should look something similar to that. Turn it on its side a little bit so you can see it. So now we want to step up one more time, go through the first of your third color of 11-0s that we just added, and then we're just going to connect those 3 beads that we added in the last round. So I'm just going through all 3 of them and then pulling tight. And then now you have something that resembles part of what looks like to me a crystal growing out of a cube. So now we need to get back down to the original part again so we can add each one of these sections to each corner of the cube. So to do that, my thread and needle is coming out in this direction of the third color of 11-0s. So I'm going to go back through the second color of 11-0s, the first color of 11-0. That puts us right next to our RounDuo Mini. So go back through that hole that's closest on the RounDuo Mini. And try not to get it wrapped around the growing portion that you just added. And so now your thread and needle are coming out next to the next 11-0. So when you put this on its corner, there's your 3 11-0s again. So this would be your first one, there's your second one, there's your third one. So if you have to, rewind the video and just follow the same step. Do that for every corner of your earring. What are we making? Do it every corner of your cube and meet me back, and then I will show you the next to last step. Alrighty, I just wanted to come back and show you a little predicament that some people may be in, as well as I just did myself. So in doing all the different areas, all the different corners and everything of the cube, I've noticed that now I have 2 corners remaining. My thread's coming out of this one on the right hand side. So now what? How do you get from one bead to the next? Just in case somebody's having some issues with that, I will show you an option. So you've got 3 of your beads right here, your 3 of your third color of the 11 O's. I want to get over to this one. So to do that, there's a couple of different ways we can go. So I'm currently coming out of this bead, so I'm going to go through the 2 of the second color of 11 O's and not go through that first one. So don't go through the first bead there that's sitting up against your RounDuo Minis. Instead, go ahead and jump down into that RounDuo Mini and come on out. We're adding so many beads around these corners that no one is going to notice that little small amount of thread that you just created from jumping from this bead to the RounDuo Mini. Nobody's going to see that. So now you're set up to do this round. So you just go through the 11O and now you're set up for that. Do the same thing for this. You just have to pass through a couple of beads in order to get to your last one over here. So just wanted to show you that just in case somebody was having some issues with it. Okay, so now I have all of my corners completed with the little growing portions of it. So now I'm going to add my wire guard so that way I can add the ear wire. So to do that, I'm currently coming out of one of the 3 11 O's up here for your third color. I'm going to pick up a wire guard going through one of the holes of the wire guard. Pull that down. I'm then going to go through the other side of the wire guard, making sure that the thread stays in the channel. And there again, I always pinch that so that way it helps the thread stay there. So now I want my earring to hang in this fashion. So I'm currently coming out of, I have it backwards, currently coming out of this seed bead right here where I added the ear wire, or the wire guard. I want to go into this seed bead right here to add the other side. So now I want the wire guard to sit more straight like this. So I'm going to go through that third seed bead of the same color and come on out and get wrapped around stuff yet again. Seems to be a theme for me. Okay, now I'm set up to where I can go back through my wire guard again. And this will allow the wire guard to sit more on top of those 3 beads rather than on its side. So I went up the one side of the wire guard, now I'm going back down the other side of the wire guard. Again, I'm pinching it to help the thread stay in the channel. And then I'm going to go through that third bead again. And again, this is going to help it kind of sit more in the center of the 3 beads. I'm going to have to pinch this one a little bit. Let it sit a little bit better. There we go. So there we go. Wire guard is now in the middle of those 3 beads. So that is that step. All we have to do now is move on down a little bit, create a couple of half-hitch knots in between some beads. And I'll do one right here. I keep poking myself today with a needle. I've already made myself bleed once. Okay, I'm going to go through a couple more beads. Since it's an earring, I'm not going to tie off a whole lot. Trying to continue down my thread path. And then we're going to burn that off, then burn it down, which I'll burn it down in just a minute when I can see it a little bit better. So now your wire guard is there. So now all you have to do is add your jump rings and your ear wire. So the jump rings, I decided to add 3 different jump rings, or 4, excuse me, 4 jump rings. So I've already put 3 of them together and have one open so I can add it to the wire guard. So close that one up. And on this portion, you can actually add chain if you want to. I just ended up using jump rings because that's what I had on hand. So you can actually use a small amount of chain if you want to as well. So I'm going to link on to the 3rd jump ring to make 4, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go through the ear wire. Close up that jump ring. And now your earring is complete. So if you need to, go back, rewind the video, and do these steps all over again for your second earring. Thanks so much for watching my growing cube tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Can't wait to see all the different colors and color combinations that you have chosen on the Facebook page. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so that way you can know when new videos come out from PotomacBeads. Thank you again. I hope to see you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.